maker of fine potions and pointy ammunition.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Einar Eriksson, the Jotun champion.
Hey, my name's Millie. I'm going to be playing Rasilka, the Dwarven Swashbuckler.
Hello, I'm Ben, and I'm playing Crow Atoan, who is a lizard folk barbarian with a little hint of druid.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm playing Lavuk Renard, and I am an Oracle Kitsune.
Excellent, excellent. And last week we had quite a fun session. Not last week, the week before last. We weren't here last week. We weren't able to do Pathfinder. So it was Mad Ramblings by yours truly instead, which was fun. But the week before, we had an interesting session. You guys had previously had a big battle, hadn't you?
Yes, and
yes, we won. We were victorious. Everybody mostly survived.
Yes.
Yes. And you had taken over the plundered smithy, which was the site that you'd found. There were some ruins out in the wilds that you were investigating. And when you got there, you found out they were a smithy, ancient smithy of Bargdumir, which is now known as Bargdumiraz, as it has fallen for some reason. And you fought the Braktagar troops who were holding it, fought some alchemists. It was a good fight. And then the following episode, you guys had seen that there was a large mechanoid creature behind one of these huge mine carts. They looked massive, sort of 10 foot across, you know, a really big gauge of train track. And I believe, LaRue had a kind of vision of seeing the ancestors kind of moving and things happening in dwarves and carts and sort of a view of the past. Decided to pinch what she felt was the activation stone of the mechanoid from Clip's pocket, and there was a bit of a roll off, nothing to do with me. And LaRue was successful. No, unsuccessful. But then said, "I want to do this," and Clip said, "So do I." So
you want to mess around with the mechanical man? Absolutely.
Yeah. So they both went over and put the stone in, and he started to wake up. You could hear the grinding and moving and shifting of kind of cogs and body parts, and there was kind of lines of light appearing, tracing through the body. And it started to sort of make enough noise that other members of the party started waking up. I think some people were quite tired and didn't wake up. But most people did, and it slowly kind of got up and it started mending itself, activated a self-repair mechanism of some kind. And you were all kind of, wow, this is cool, it's going on. And you started talking to it and you realized that this thing was a mechanoid that had been created by the dwarves who had run this place in the past to clearly be a smith and mend things and move things and push these huge carts full of stuff and weapons and things that were forged here. And you realized that this creature that you called known, because it kept saying that is unknown. So Clip dubbed it known, and it kind of pointed out to you that it could craft things and mend things, and you said, "Oh, could you put these runes on our stuff?" Yes, he could. Okay, right, we're now staying here for a few days while all of our equipment gets tooled up. And there was some searching, and you found a whole load of stuff. Yeah, it was Roger's birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Roger. And you decided you're going to stay there for a little while. And while you were securing the place, making safe, because we used the site rules for the plundered smithy, and it had already been made safe, but you were starting to undo the work they'd done to activate one of the forges, because you'd previously made a deal with Vlidras, the wood giant. She had asked that you do not turn on the fires of Zadumir, and just the way she was kind of seeing it as bringing this flame up and burning things and chopping trees to stick them in the furnace. And as long as you didn't do that, then she was happy for you to, go there. And you went there, freed it. And then you saw on the hill, I think it was Crow and LaRue.
Mm-hmm.
You saw her sitting on the hill watching what you were doing. I think she was eating a vineling at the time or something, wasn't she?
When we got
Head
there,
off
yeah,
one,
she
yeah.
She was
chowed
like,
down on Onion Boy.
yeah. Garlic. It's garlic. And
Liam of your choice.
you had a bit of a conversation, didn't you, Ben? What did
We negotiated on behalf of the tower people. We were very polite and very nice, and LaRue is fluffy, which helped. And we agreed that we would disassemble the smithy and take it away down near the water where it would be safer.
Mm-hmm.
And that we would send some rangers and druidy types up this way to build a watchtower to help watch against the incursions from Bractica.
Yep.
And she agreed with that and totally didn't seal the deal by threatening to chop LaRue's hand off with a magic bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
No, she gave me a friendship bracelet, and it's lovely.
That's exactly what it is.
She put some moss on the thing, and I got some verdants.
Yep.
So that was also great.
Who's now got verdants?
Just LaRue, I think.
I think
just
it's
LaRue.
Mm-hmm.
Abdul was
LaRue.
pointing, but I think he was pointing in the wrong direction because he was pointing at.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
It's
so
just
LaRue
LaRue.
has got some verdants, which is
But
okay because
we
you're
now-
from Glorium anyway, aren't you?
So I can probably handle it. But anyway, and we also got a diplomatic agreement, and she now lets us travel to and from in safety, and we didn't have to do an encounter when we walked back to the Emberwatch Towers.
Yeah, I don't think you did. You get back? Did we say you got back?
I think we hadn't left yet. I think
No,
we
you
were
hadn't
about
left
to.
yet. You were going to, weren't you?
Yeah,
You were going
just
to head
on
back.
it, just about to.
Just about to pack up and leave.
Yeah.
But we had safe passage because of the wood giant.
I
Yes.
thought we had, because if I
I
remember
thought we got
correctly,
back.
because you said the tower looks oddly like a knee.
Yeah, we did get
Oh
back.
yeah.
Completely got back.
It did.
And that was when we realized that we could find all of the different parts of the Megazord.
Yep.
And
The
all
Realm
pilot
Defender.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, because
had a moment.
Known had said, you said, oh well, we're going back here on our map, and it looked at it and went, last known location of Realm Defender, and Clip was like, huh?
Heart eyes.
Yeah, yeah, and you all leveled up.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh,
Yes, you're all level 3 now.
which sends me into a panic to go and find those overlays you sent me, Pete. Oh no! Oh no!
I thought you were being cunning there, Millie, and not saying anything, and I was going to go, and they level 3,
yeah.
and you'd go,
I just
aha.
transitioned across. Yeah,
Da,
sure.
I tell you what,
Joink.
I can do that bit again when you turn it on, and then in YouTube, I'll just
I would
edit
just
it.
delete that bit out of it. Yeah, show it in post. I love it.
We'll fix
Fix on
it
the
in
level.
post.
So,
Yeah.
what did everyone do for that level? Should we go round and everyone just give a quick overview? Because I'm no doubt our viewers would like to know what kind of new capabilities
Yes,
our
I'm sure they'd
characters
be
have.
fascinated.
And we should point out that we're doing the gradual ability boosts. We're not doing, you get 4 ability boosts at level 5, because that's crazy. We're doing 1 at level 2, 3, 4, and 5. So everyone will have had an ability boost and some stuff. So Aldoon, why don't you take it away with Clip?
Oh, wait, thank you. I was totally prepared for this. Oh, hello. So, yes, hang on. Gotta get into character now. What's that you're saying, boy? So, Clip has continued his focus on crafting. So he likes to make fine weapons and blow stuff up. So he's now an expert in crafting, which means he can make a whole bunch of stuff. And continuing in that theme, he's decided to become more skilled in magical crafting and can now make a whole bunch of magic-y stuff, including, let me just find it, hang on, shining ammunition, so tracer rounds, rune stones, rune of weapon potency, because everyone likes some potency in their weapon, right? And he's still debating. Send that last one on. Well, I don't know why you're giggling.
Sorry, carry on.
Children. And because he's an elf with noodly arms, he decided to put his physical upgrade into strength, so he's slightly less noodly, and that Harmonia gun he's got won't blow him quite so backwards.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Cool. Excellent. Is that enough for level 3? That's cool.
Dude. Yeah.
Okay, Roger, what's happened to Einar now that he's level 3?
Well, he's been getting hit an awful lot, so that's been kind of working his constitution up, you could say.
Okay, yeah, toughening him up.
By getting hit a lot. He's also learned to get a bit better at sneaking. Seems the rest of the party is trying to sneak around a lot, so he's trying to tread a bit more carefully.
I like it. That makes sense.
Mainly sound, obviously, because he's a little on the large side to try and stay hidden from anything short of an oak tree. And he now has a divine ally in his weapon.
Ooh.
So he's going to be extra good at forking people, especially if they're undead.
Awesome. Very cool. Millie, how's Rasilka?
Rasilka got a little bit hardier with great fortitude. Also I now have a reaction. I have opportune riposte, which is only triggers on a critical fail. If a foe within my reach critically fails a strike against me, I can try and hit them or disarm them.
Cool.
So I can do that. And then I got, what's the other thing? I got stylish tricks, which if I picked right means in situations which is my intimidating prowess, that's where that comes from. Because so now I can demoralize people even if they don't understand me, which is good.
Rude hand gestures.
Yeah.
Dwarvish
battle
swearing.
signs.
Yeah.
Untrained improvisation. My proficiency bonus to untrained skill checks is equal to half my level. What's the other thing I got? Where is it? Let's see. It says voracious speed. So I'm now just 5 foot faster than normal, but when I have panache, I'm 10 foot faster than normal.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a bunch of proficiencies and stuff that went up, which means I now have plus 11 to intimidation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So those dwarvish rude signals really do offend people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be great.
Ben, what's Crow up to now?
I too have joined the moving slightly quicker than before brigade by taking the fleet general feat. Which boosts my base speed from 25 to 30 and also makes my sudden charge just horrifying because it means I can do a sudden charge of 120 feet and then still hit with full force. No, not 120. It's 60.
Oh,
60 feet.
I was going to say, that would be amazing.
I mean, 60 feet is still pretty strong. Yeah, I
that's
can
like the
cheese 60 feet.
range increment on some ranged weapons.
That's almost further than Clip can shoot.
Yeah. I can
Almost.
cheese it 60 feet and then hit someone full blast with a two-handed battle axe. And as a barbarian, I also gained the deny advantage power.
Oh.
Class feature, sorry, which means that I am no longer subject to being flat-footed, stealthed at, snuck up on, surprised attacked.
Oh, nice.
Which is
You're
very
just like
nice.
Aware, on edge all the
That's
time.
when the arrow comes shooting out of the undergrowth and you go
Did
and
Crow
catch it.
just get anxiety?
Yeah.
Is that what happened there?
It's totally not anxiety, no. And also I put my strength up because it's funny.
Okay. And your strength is now what?
Last round I put my wisdom up because I took the druid dedication.
Okay.
So my strength is now 18.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Right, and Dan LaRue, level 3. What's that?
Level 3 for my Oracle was a lot less exciting than everybody else's. Most of my stuff happened at level 2. However, I did get a new skill feat. That's lie to me. It makes it a lot harder for people to lie to me. I can do a deception test to see if people are lying to me. And LaRue is actually surprisingly good at deception. I also took untrained improvisation. that one,
Yeah.
the one that Millie took, just as well, just to bring so that I get a little bit of a bonus to my rest of my talents, which are terrible because I'm very focused. And I boosted Constitution because I've now got a bit of verdance, so I've got really the power of life inside me. So my Constitution is a little bit higher to give me a few more hit points. Not that anyone ever hits or shoots or does anything to LaRue because she's hiding somewhere at the back.
Hiding? What, in the middle of the battlefield going?
I'm a white fox.
That was the
in this
last
green
tactical
field.
scenario.
She was following the plan.
Yeah, she
There
followed
was
the plan.
the fox
Yeah.
was drawn in the middle of the battlefield, so that's where she stood.
You're absolutely
we all
right.
learned
You're
a
absolutely
valuable
right.
lesson.
Yeah.
Be clearer to LaRue with tactical instructions.
Yes. She will literally follow what's on
Right.
the piece of paper.
I mean, it worked, so
True.
But yes, otherwise there wasn't a
True.
lot for her to be upgrading this time round. So level 3 was quite short for the Oracle, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
everybody else kind of blasted past with all the cool stuff and left us for the end there, Dan. It's like, they got a little bit quicker, got a little bit stronger.
Well, I think some people do get different things at different levels. You know,
yeah, it's very level
the
dependent.
champion divine ally is quite a cool one. You know, that's
Oh, crikey, yeah.
yeah.
And that
Oh,
druid
okay.
dedication at level 2.
could we
was
show
really quite
our
cool as
lovely
well.
viewers the map?
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Just wanted to. Here we go. So, as you can see, hopefully you can see the little Games Master blob there on the screen. You're now, having taken over the smithy, you now have sight, not sight beyond sight, but sight beyond the plains, but not beyond the trees, because the forest blocks the view. And you can see a bit of the surrounding area. And also this light green patch of 4 hexes here. This is
Our safe travel zone
this is
from our giant
Vlidras's.
friend.
Yeah, this is her territory. So she is willing to give you safe passage through those hexes. Now, what that means is you won't have to make encounter rolls unless you want to in those hexes. Yeah. So that's why that's been highlighted there, just for our viewers. And then obviously we've got Emberwatch Tower, and then we've got the village down here. Oh, hang on. Why is that not labeled village? That's weird. Whoa,
Big
it's
village.
a really big village. Oh, now it's a really small village.
Or it's just really far away.
One of the two. There you go. Now it's a moderate village. And that's where you're going to recommend. I doubt you guys are going to move all the forge and stuff, but you're going to recommend that
We have
it gets
people for
moved
that.
down to the village so that the smithing can go on by the river and all the muck can get taken away.
But also so it's closer to the tower and protected by the tower, and we don't
Sure.
spend all of our time and effort fixing it up only to have Bracticar come in and go, oh, cheers for that.
And
Absolutely.
also, that may be our trade port, so trading, sending
Good
good steel
Place
back
to bring
to...
in raw materials as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all good decisions. So you guys are currently in the at the smithy, and
We
it's
got
going-
back to the tower.
Tower.
Oh, you're back at the tower. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. There we go. That's why I got confused because my little blue hex was in the
Baby's
wrong
hex again.
location. So you guys arrive back at the tower, and as we said last time, as you arrive back, Clip, now looking at the kind of conical red metallic tower with this kind of dome at the top and a slot through it, you realize that maybe it's not an observatory, that maybe something would fit in that slot, and some of the old mechanisms inside would have been some sort of knee joint. So you kind of head up to the main gate, and once again, Sir Althus Credwin is waiting for you as you arrive, and he's kind of, hello. How goes your day? You look well, all of you. He sort of counts you. Yep.
Okay, that's just rude.
It went very well, thank you.
Excellent. All of you make perception rolls, please. Because you're kind of standing there. Oh, there we go. Is that everyone? Okay. So, Rastilka, Crow, and Clip. LaRue, you're thinking about something else, and Einar, you're not quite. You're kind of focused more on Sir Althus. All of you see from behind his shoulder, over his shoulder, very, very far in the distance, on the horizon, a cloud of smoke, some sort of dust, and then you feel a faint tremor.
I felt
kind of
disturbance.
And when the tremor goes through, you all feel that, but all of you saw very far in the distance.
What sort of direction? Is it in the direction of the lake?
Can you see that?
No.
No.
No,
Zoom
I
out.
wasn't looking. Go again.
I may need to. Can you see
All I can see is bees.
straight up?
I can see the little thing that says Game Master, but the fog of war is blocking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case,
Oh, crikey.
That's a long way.
there's like a plume of dust very far in the distance. Remember, this world is flat. It is not a sphere.
What
you can
madness is this? Who could live on a sphere? You'd fall off.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Well, after water, it would go to the bottom and
how would you stack one sphere on top of the other? This plume of dust is huge, and as you see it kind of going off, it looks like a volcano or something. This huge plume of dust flying into the sky.
Is it dust or ash?
It's hard for you to tell
Or
from
bats.
this
It could be
distance.
bats
Because
Because if it's dust, that would imply that it's more like a sinkhole
or dragons.
opening up, something collapsing and shooting a cloud of dust up. Can I
Something
make a
falling
survival check
from
to see if I can
above?
tell
sure.
the difference?
Absolutely, go for it. And so Althus turns around to look, and he's like, "By the gods, what?" And people now you can see inside.
Wow.
He kind of waves someone to open the gates.
It,
Do you have hero
Exactly.
points?
I'm going to get that out of the way now. No,
Narrative
I'll
Zeka
just-
says, "Is
gotta
Frodo
fail.
throwing one ring into Mount Doom?"
that's a big cloud of something.
it's not like a dust plume of an army marching, is it?
Oh no! This is like a nuke has gone off. Like a huge, not with fire. There's no fire. It's just like huge eruption. Are you using your-
Can I look up and see if something fell from the level
Glorim?
above?
Make a perception roll. That's hot. That's tricky.
Get my scope.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Get your scope out. That's cool.
Is it a
I'll
spice
lower
blow?
the
And
DC.
should we be on the lookout for Shai Halud?
Well,
Yeah.
it's
There's worm sign and all the
crossing
trees
streams.
like
I
going.
got me a critical 27.
Okay, so you look up and you can't tell, you can't see, you don't think any of the stalactites in the area above that portion. And again, it's hard to but you're quite good with angles and distances. So you're like,
I used to live in a stalactite city. I'm quite.
oh, that's
keen on
true,
making
isn't it?
sure
You
they're still there,
you did live at
so-
Neckelvang for a while, didn't you? So you look up
Yeah.
and you're like, no, nothing fell, or nothing big enough to create that fell. And as you kind of pan back down with your scope, you see a dragon flying through the sky.
You know, I said dragon. I can see a dragon. What color is it?
Towards it.
Oh, it's going towards the thing. So I'm no expert on dragons, but yeah.
What
The
colour
gates
is the
have
dragon?
opened. Well, Clip saw it, and it was like a bluey greeny.
That's fine. That matches LaRue's notes in her little notepad. Is that in the direction that Villidress said that there was a big Braktavar underground encampment, or is that where she said there's potential other dwarves?
That was more of a dwarven direction.
Ah, yeah. LaRue's looking at her notes now. She's furiously looking for her notes.
Yeah. As the gates have opened, and you guys are kind of like now turning right to go because you're kind of looking past the city and Sir Alphys, and he's kind of ushering you in, and he's like, quick, come inside. And people are kind of running around like, what the hell is going on? And for the first time since you've been there, you see Doric Emberblade, not in the central chamber. He's down, and he is walking through the courtyard towards one of the staircases to go up onto the rampart. And he's like, Alphys, with me. And then he sees you. You lot too. Sure. And he kind of trots up. You see him like trot up the stairs. Clearly hasn't done much exercise in a while, but kind of makes it up to the top of the stairs fairly well. And Sir Alphys kind of follows behind. As you're getting to the bottom of the stairwell, Shalar, the Jotun lady, comes out of the front of the tower, or the leg, and she reaches down and picks up a big fistful of earth from beside the kind of, but by the tower off the road, picks up a big fistful of earth and just holds it to her chest, and you see her close her eyes.
What does Andrin tell you? I fear they may be affronted by this.
It is not opposed to Andrin.
Is it aligned with Andrin?
I cannot tell.
I'm gonna go up and crouch on the wall next to
Okay, so you're all
Sir Alphys.
the rest of you
Yeah,
are
I'm
kind of
just going up
trotting
the
up the stairs, and Doric's there, and Sir Alphys, and Doric's like turns around. He says, "What the fuck is going on? We just heard a rumble and a tremor. What is it? Is that dust? Ash?"
What do your elven eyes see, Clip?
I believe what we have here is what we tend to call a cataclysm. We have a cataclysmic event, like when the very large hawk gets in with the very small chickens, like that.
I was more because you have those scopy things on your.
Oh,
your
you actually
rifle,
wanted me to look.
and you can,
okay.
You can
Yeah.
see with
I
the
can
elven
see
eye things.
a big cloud. That's just accurate. Thank you. Yeah, there's a big cloud of indeterminate matter in the air, and there is a bluey-greeny dragon that is going to investigate. I do not believe the dragon is responsible.
Dragon.
I have scanned the plate above, and no stalactites appear to have fallen, so it is not that has happened.
Yes, the giants. She told us about the dragons.
Yes, a bluey, according to my notes, a bluey-green dragon.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
corroborates.
So we've got dragons and explosions and
Multiple
cataclysmic
dragons.
events.
There are more than one dragons. Maybe 3 dragons. At least 2.
Somewhere
3
between
dragons.
1 and 3.
What happened in the last 12 days? 15
Well,
days.
We met a wood giant, and we promised not to industrialize this region of the forest. Just to let
yes,
you know.
Monsieur Emberblade, I have a diplomatic agreement for you to review and sign.
Whoa. This is a lot to take in 5 minutes.
Our mission was very successful. We were able to reach the forge and repel goblins.
Right.
Well,
Practical,
we
yeah.
killed them. We didn't really repel them. We killed them.
Yeah, we assaulted
Good.
the former tower, and
Our
it is now in
strategy
our
was-
control.
We have learned much, and the big machine man called Known is coming to bring the forge to this place for your village.
Machine Man.
Yes. Yes, he is a dwarf mechanoid that we have co-opted to our cause. He is awaiting further orders, defending the Dwarven Forge, which we plan to relocate to the coastal village.
A mechanoid?
Yes, yes.
We had planned to do a whole proper presentation with like little models and things, but you wanted it now on this wall, and I do not have my slides ready.
He points at the giant dust cloud, and he's like,
Yes.
That's further away than we went.
That is not what we have been doing for the last 12 days, which is what you asked for. So, make up your mind.
Okay, right.
This has occurred in 12 minutes.
If I may,
Sir Alphys. He kind of waves for you all to be quiet, and he goes, Sir Alphys, double the watch on the wall. Keep an eye on anything. Any dragon activity, come and tell me immediately. You 5. Let's go back into the tower.
Okay.
Okay, so he leads you back into the chamber where Krillj is still there.
Did you settle on a colour for the slides?
Can we get some refreshments as well? It's been a long road.
I'm imagining Crow with like big leaves, like he's like drawn things on, and he's like sliding them,
We get it. It's like a shadow play, Crow. It's like a shadow play. Yeah, get me?
It was a very successful mission. Your people are very, very talented. They are good for this place.
He kind of looks at you like a little uncertain, and he turns to Einar and he says, has this local proven himself? Einar?
He has. This little man has done very well, I'll say, gesturing towards the like 8
the 7 foot tall lizard man.
And Rasilka, what do you how do you appraise this? He says in Dwarven.
Oh, in Dwarven.
How do you appraise this creature?
No, they're very good at. Sorry, I can't do the accent. I don't know why. They're very good at fighting. Just don't, when they offer you soup, just decline. Yeah, just decline soup or stew.
I like soup.
No.
Good soup and stew. You're speaking in Dwarven, I don't speak.
The not hobgoblin soup.
Yeah,
it's not made from sentience.
The not hobgoblin stew is very, very nice.
I do not cook sentience. It's mostly made from frogs and gators and rabbits and things.
Now say that without winking.
I did say that without winking. There are no sentience in Crow's cooking.
Okay.
Wink.
Aye. Right. Okay. Well, you'll have to tell me that story later, Rasilka.
Yes, I've got the cards to go with it.
What they said? He's still talking to you in Dwarven.
Okay.
Does anybody else speak Dwarven? No. Okay.
Clip does.
Oh, Clip does. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's joined me again.
So this place you went to, it's a smithy, a Dwarven smithy.
Yeah, it was.
Did you find any spoils? Anything interesting?
Oh, there's like a mechanical man, which we've called Roan.
No.
And then like Rasilka's like the least dwarven dwarf, so she's a bit like, we found some metal and stuff. So wheelbarrows and things.
Okay.
There was a statue as well, wasn't there? Yeah, and a statue. It was pretty nice.
Aye. There's often a some place to make an offering to Dwarrim at such locations.
Yeah, of course it was him. Yeah, I paid attention in them classes, yeah.
He's starting to look at you slightly like, am I right talking to the right person?
Yeah. But everything downstairs was all blocked off, so there wasn't that much.
Blocked off.
Yeah.
There seems to be obviously a lot of activity in the areas destabilized these entrances. Krillj looks up and she speaks in perfect Dwarven.
Like received pronunciation, Dwarven, like
the dwarf's English. She turns around and she just says, Hey up, lad. No, that's Dwarven.
Hey up, lads. It's a bit rude.
She says, "Look, I've been reading these texts about Barg Dumir. Or we should probably refer to it as Barg Dumir as from now on, sir. Your Honor." And Doric kind of nods sadly, and it was a great factory, a great factory city for the war in the Mechanolith. This is many great warriors of ancient myth and legend. She says, kind of picking up different books here, Kelgrin, Cromdrail, here, this, here, that. She kind of names various names that mean absolutely nothing to you, Silka. And she's looking quite excited, and she suddenly realizes she's speaking in Dwarven, and she switches to Common.
Excuse me, learned one. Is there anything in your studies that has mentioned something called a realm defender?
Well, there's been a few vague mentions, but it seems more like a myth that these folk talk about of an ancient time when there were vast beasts that surged from the elemental ocean and Zadumir, and that dwarves rendered huge realm defenders to fight them.
I know, that's ridiculous, really. I'll slap the wall. Myth! Ha ha!
She looks around, pondering for a moment.
Noan said that this was leg of big giant man.
Shush. Be quiet.
Doric's like, what? What are you? What?
Oh, it's a myth. Don't worry about it.
She kind of looks around and she's like, all that gear work we cleared out. We should look at that.
Yes, I think we should.
We put it behind the tower.
Yep.
Also must find other leg and arms and body.
And the buttocks.
And then Clip can be the head.
Yes.
Okay. I'll look in the books to see if there's anything about a battle. I assume it would have been quite a... She looks around again. Quite a devastating attack that severed the leg from such a giant machine.
Yes.
Doric's like, his eyes are suddenly lighting up.
Is it a similar expression to Clip's one a couple of days ago?
But like, and suddenly it looks like his beard is kind of getting more vital and youthful. It's like it's like a dwarf blush.
Metal
yeah. Oh, we may have.
If you're thinking about it, Clip's going to have to be one of the arms.
We may have been stumbling.
The gun arm.
The gun arm, definitely.
Yeah.
We may have stumbled onto one of the greatest troves of ancient dwarven relics we ever known. This could be amazing. This
Did we mention the forest giant and their complete dislike of us setting the forges back off where they are?
Yeah, I believe LaRue has shown the diplomatic...
Yes, but we have made arrangements and
Pedicles.
agreements. We can have the forge to use here in the village.
LaRue's like behind all the tall people trying to wave her hand so she can get someone's attention. So
I'll pick LaRue up so he can see her.
You're not that short.
she is. She's back in human form, so she's really short when she's in human form. When she's in her
Pick her
fox
up
form,
and move it
she's
to the
taller.
front.
Thank you, Aina. Lord Emberblade, I have diplomatic agreement agreed with Vidrus, the forest giant. This is her territory, or it's safe passage, but we're to move the forge from the site. It's currently into the sea village, and then what we need to do is we need to build a tower there and a watchtower, but it's probably best we send people who are sympathetic for the trees, because she said please don't kill anything or destroy anything or chuck down any trees.
Rangers and druids, she said.
And she
Rangers and
signed
druids
it,
can go.
and it just needs your signature too. And she put this lovely green thing on me, and I think it'll kill me if we break the agreement. So here you go. This is for you, sir.
But Vledris has
And
given free passage through her territory to all who travel that way.
She said she will keep the journey between here and what was the smithy safe.
And she
he
fights
rolls
the
the
evil
map out, and he kind of
plant
goes.
people.
So this land between here and here, she calls that.
Yeah,
her
I'll kind
territory.
of move my finger around it,
Okay.
gesturing where it is.
Yeah. LaRue's like
Right.
joining in as well. And going, yeah. And
Awful
also,
ally.
she also gave us lots of good information. If I may, Mr. Emberblader, the dust cloud seems to be in the general direction she signified to say that there are other dwarven people here still. Are we aware that there are dwarven people still potentially?
No.
Well, she said she described them as short with beards, and they weren't goblins. That seemed to signify.
Well, that could be gnomes.
No, they
But
didn't.
to them, that could be humans with beards, couldn't it? How tall was she?
Well, she was very tall, but she said that they were shorter than me and Crow, and me and Crow are.
Oh, okay.
And she seemed to indicate that they worked underground. So it could be, I guess it could be gnomes, but it seemed more like dwarfs. And also there is a large Braktagar encampment which is building and burning, and these are just my notes. I'm sorry, they're not very good. And yes, so
We have in fact seen now here. He pulls out it's got like a carved wooden hand with a knife stabbed in it on a little stand, like a little miniature. And that is the symbol of Metalin, which is the patron god of
Practigar.
Or murder. And
We
I think
have
got
seen
some coins that look a bit like that.
we have
Yeah.
seen smoke rising
Don't play cards with them.
from in this direction by the coast. We believe that might be their encampment. They're being careful, but not careful enough. Josen did a good job. He spotted them on an early morning walk of the walls.
That boy has improved.
Aye. Well, being out on the frontier will do that. You have to survive. You have to learn.
Like Greenwood is hardening up.
Now, we'll keep a watch on that land. In fact, until that dust cloud appeared, I was going to send you in that direction, but I don't think that's really what we should be doing.
I appreciate your faith in this party, sir, but we are an expeditionary scouting force. I do not believe we yet have the might to take on an entire encampment, unless you have some cannon.
What is cannon?
It's like a gun, but
Well,
bigger.
it's funny you should say that. That Ragnar has been hiding away and spending a lot of time with Albern.
Yeah, I saw some of the plans. That's why I mentioned the cannon.
Aye. Well, he's been locked away for a bit now. There's lots of hammering and strange chanting going on late into the night. We'll see what he comes out with. Hopefully it'll be something we can mount on our walls and protect our people with. We'll see. And his
You wish
team-
us to investigate the dragon and the dust?
That seems like a significant event, don't you think?
To see one of the eldest up close would be an honor.
I'm less interested about the dragon. I am obviously interested, but as you said, you've had me thinking there. Was it Crow? Did you say your name was? Crow.
Yes.
That it might be some sort of sinkhole, vast sinkhole that's opened up, or something in the earth. This to me feels like it may have exposed something
Go down to
or
Dwarven
powerful.
Town.
Aye. Yes. I think it might be best if the five of you make haste to that area to figure out what's happened.
When we go, we could lead a team towards the old smithy. It would be good to start deconstructing the forge and get it moved to the village.
I think it would be good if we introduce the team to known rather than them just arrive. That
Exactly.
Might be safer for all involved.
So they will need wagons and the big
Big
cows.
ones.
Cows.
Horses.
Oxen to move the forge.
Oxen, yes, this
Oh.
one.
Well, you
Not very
will
good at
have
animals.
Known's
Did
cart.
you not say there's a
so-
mechanoid now that can do that?
Yes. Known did volunteer to bring it all themselves, but we thought it best that they be escorted.
There are still other materials and things there. You will need more than just simply
Aye,
known.
that makes sense.
Oh,
That
samples.
makes sense.
Samples. Aina has samples.
Oh, yeah, we got like the cold iron and the silver ore.
Aye, right, excellent. Well, you know the deal. You talk to Krilge on your way out about all the things you've discovered, and we log it all, and then we'll recompense you for anything that comes in to the group hall, and specifics, I believe, we're happy to leave in your hands for the cause.
Yes.
Yeah, for the cause. Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Emberblade, sir, might I make one more suggestion? Crow, do your people have ambassadors?
What is ambassador?
Like me, they talk to people and help them and
No,
engage.
nobody as small as you. They are only children.
No, not height-wise.
No, the
just-
younglings.
Perhaps you have another member
Not
of
the
your
younglings.
people, member of your people that can help our people learn more about the forest and be part of the forest.
That is me.
Yeah, but you're going to be with us.
Yes.
But
Where are the rest of your folk?
Oh, my people are spread. We had village, but it is gone. They are hiding.
Gone.
Yes.
Destroyed?
Yes.
Who did that?
I do not know.
Well, Crow, you're welcome to stay here with us. And if any of your people are in the area, then tell them that they can come here. I understand that they may not want to dwell within the tower, but if they dwell within sight of it, then we may be able to help each other.
I will leave signs. My people will come to this place. They may live by the river in the woods.
Aye.
And I can draft another diplomatic agreement.
Oh, we can do that together.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Oh, good.
Did the
Excellent.
others return from the lake?
No. We have not seen them yet, but we're slightly worried. But I'm leaving that to Ragnar. His people headed out there, and I am loath to interfere with him while he is inventing.
It's all right. I'll just check in with his apprentice and see what she thinks.
Very well, very well. We have had 3 more teams arrive. Well, 2 teams and some more soldiers arrive, guards. So I could send some guards and some workers with you when you head to the smithy.
That would be wise.
Yeah, they need to be forest savvy, though, just to be clear.
The people
Ranger folk would be the best.
most of those from Pargranin know the ways of the forest. We are the most wild wood of the free cities.
Yeah. As I said, Mr.
Yeah.
Emberblade, I think this will kill me if we break our agreement. So I would prefer it if you could sign a diplomatic agreement and, of course, not upset the giant.
It's important to the giant lady. You do not wish her as an enemy.
I gave my word I would be most displeased if we break it.
Aye. Well, it seems like having a defender of this region is useful for us, at least in the short term.
Perhaps
I
some
agree.
gifts for her.
Well, you would probably be better placed knowing what such gifts would be,
Sweets.
my local friend.
She would like sweets, honey. She's very large. If you have very, very large bow, she might like that.
A very large bowl. Well, have a look around and see if anyone in the
Just like-
site has got one.
I'll just like pat Hero and be like, "Look, don't worry about gifts. We'll deal with that.
Maybe a hat.
It'll be fine. Look."
Can't
With
go
a
wrong
really
with a
big
hat. I think a
We
hat.
would
Need
need
to
a
be
very
green.
big feather.
Yeah, with a
She
big
likes
feather.
green.
There we go. That's good.
Hey, we can deal with gifts later, folks.
Yes, now is for food.
Oh yeah, some
Are you hungry?
good food and some ale
Some
Has been
meat
a-
would be fantastic.
Long journey.
Well,
and a bed.
Check in with Krilge
And a
on your way
bath.
out. I need to go and find Terith. Don't know where they've got to. And he kind of, as if he's kind of remembering something he was going to do before all of the stuff happened.
Before there was a dust storm and a
Yeah.
dragon
And he kind of
5 maniacs.
moves
and a
off
robot and a
faster.
giant.
Yeah. He moves off faster than you've seen him move ever, but you haven't seen him that many times. Normally he's sitting down on a big chair, but he kind of trots out of the room. Krilge looks up and she's like, you realize she hasn't actually been reading. She's just been listening the whole time. And she's like, you guys have to tell me everything.
Look,
Sounds like you had an amazing adventure.
LaRue gives her a notepad of all of her notes in, and it's got everything about the green dragon and all
I'm
the
just
bits and
like,
pieces.
no. They'll tell the story, LaRue. They'll tell the story. Come on.
I'm just gonna leave Rasilka to do the story thing and go see the smith.
And LaRue just feels happy to be included with Rasilka because, like, she's trying to make her a BFF. So she's just going to be there and be like, ooh, to the story, make it sound like, and really ingratiate the story a little bit.
I'll go along with Clip, seeing as I'm lugging all of the
Okay.
ore.
You got all the heavy.
But you need to log it with Krilge
Yeah, the quartermaster. Yeah.
because she's the quartermaster.
Krilge does note, Rasilka, the fine braids in your hair
Thanks.
and beard.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll hand a list that was made
Okay,
to LaRue
that's cool.
so she can sort out all the paperwork,
Mhm.
and we'll lug the ore off to the smith.
Okay, so then Krilge kind of is writing that down without even looking, copying, seemingly doing 3 things at the same time while you're talking to her about the adventure you had. And she said, that the altars to Dwarven were often a feature. I mean, was it about 15 foot tall and 10 foot wide? Was it a big? I assume
Do
it was quite
that
a big
thing where
one.
you're like, yeah.
And was it standing in this? She kind of mimics the pose that the statue was in.
Yeah.
That was a common form carved in those days for the Barg Dumir war foundries.
Oh yeah. Classic Bergdemir War Foundry pose. Yeah, classic.
It seems that a large part of the population was geared towards building weapons and armor for the soldiers manning the Mechanolith in Zadumir, and that they would be taken from here and moved to Zadumir. I'm not sure how or where, but
Oh, I know. I saw it in my ancestors' vision. They had these carts they pushed along like railway tracks, and the megalith, the little mechanoid guys used to push it to where it needed to go. And I saw in the vision, there was a cart full of weapons. They looked very nice.
interesting visions, you say.
Yeah, LaRue realizes that, and after saying all of that, she goes, "Oh no."
I
No,
think
she says
later
it
on,
all.
you'll have to have a drink with me, and we'll talk about these visions and ancestors of yours. But look, I just keep an eye out for anything. Anything really? I mean, you've met a mechanical man, and strange forges and creatures and dust plumes and dragons. But anything really interesting, keep an eye out.
More interesting than all the above.
You should show her your bracelet of friendliness.
I think they had
Making a sketch.
I think they had a gate to the Mechanolith, to the ramparts of the Mechanolith on Zadumir.
Oh.
Well, the forge had a magical door that you could only go through with this special crystal. It looked like a door, but it was solid. You couldn't go through it, but you could go through it if you had the crystal. It went like
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think, how big was this? Was it 100 foot across?
Big.
It was very big.
10 foot across.
No,
If
no.
a gate that could take you to Zadumir, you will notice.
Okay.
There's only a few mentions of transporting to Zadumir, but the timescales they talk about don't make sense unless they had a gate.
Right. Well,
Okay.
keep an eye out. I'll tell Clip about it. He's good at looking for stuff.
I see you found rune stones. Yeah, you need a vast number of huge rune stones to form a gate.
Oh.
So, as well as the calling stone, the calling, the link. I can't. It's an old word. Doesn't really translate into modern very easily.
Right.
But keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Sure.
And mead later, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I do that
definitely.
like, yeah.
Definitely. I may have to still bring some of the books, but I'm definitely up for a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, books, whatever. Yeah, mead.
Also, Krilge, another thing. Rasilka came up with this thing where you pour water on a coal and it steams a room. It's lovely.
Yeah.
We tried it at the forge. It was good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that get you sweaty?
Yeah.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Skin becomes slick. It is very comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. But you need a lot. Alburn's got a lot of coal.
Yeah.
Just saying, maybe one night we take over the forge downstairs, the blacksmiths, and we,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell me what night that's going to be and remind me, because if you don't remind me, I'll bring my books and
Steam. No,
definitely not. Although she picks up some of the old dwarven metal sheets with literally the runes etched into it. She goes, maybe some of these.
No, just one night, no books. Come on. Not tonight. You can bring your books tonight, but another night.
There's a huge pile of books and scrolls and tomes and slabs and tablets and all kinds of things. And she's just like, when can I not?
For one night only.
Okay. For one night only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rose just had a very sudden realization and he looks at the three of them and is like, oh no. And backing out slowly while bowing. Very sorry. Very sorry. Very sorry.
Look at, I don't understand him. I don't understand that one.
They're very interesting people, from what I've read.
I'm not sure about his soup.
Soup?
Let's be like, right, come on, LaRue, we've got stuff to do. We just be like,
yeah, good idea.
You've spent a bit of time telling the whole story and all that kind of stuff. So in that time, Clip and I, you guys have gone across to the forge. And when you arrive, there's a big sign on the door of the forge saying, fuck off.
Well, that's clearly for other people. We're just going to ignore that.
And you can hear, no, not there, not there. You idiot. No, look, like this. You can kind of hear the shouting going on as you approach. And standing outside is Taris. And she is looking deeply embarrassed, very bored, and looks like she's almost nodding off as you arrive. And she kind of stares up at you. Sudden kind of shock and like,
Good afternoon, miss.
Good afternoon. I'm gonna have to ask you not to go in the Smith's forge.
Don't see that happening.
You've got stuff, haven't you, with you?
Yep.
Well, actually, you know what? If you've got something interesting there, you might be able to just get away with it. you got anything interesting?
Yep.
What? I mean, it looks like ore from here.
Oh, yeah, I'll just hold out like a big meaty hand filled with a few of the different types of thing.
I don't think he's going to be impressed with ore. Have you got some rune stones? Those rune stones?
Yep.
Oh, perhaps. Okay. Okay. Right,
I have
give me a minute.
burning
Give me a minute.
need to see the smith and a total lack of respect for your master.
He's pretty busy, the poor
Mhm.
guy. Okay, let me go in. Okay, and she kind of stops, turns around. Okay.
Miss?
Okay.
Can you cast magic?
Not yet. Not yet. He's promised that within the next fortnight, he's going to teach me some cantrips.
Like
She's
none
kind of
at all?
she's kind of readying herself to
Okay.
go through the door as you're kind of talking to her back, as it were.
Okay. All right.
And then she kind of opens the door and closes it quickly, and she goes, and you can hear sort of muffled conversation. I'm very sorry to something thuds against the door. And after a bit of squabbling, she opens the door and she says, you can come inside.
What was that hit the door?
I don't know. I don't know. And she kind of opens the door and hides behind it so that you guys come in to see Ragnar standing there.
I'm going to look around and see what hit the door.
And Alburn is kind of like sitting, taking a moment's rest. He looks red-faced. He's clearly tired. It's really hot in here. And there's a thick smell of steel, of coal, of charcoal, of burning. It kind of really fills your nostrils. There's a thick layer of kind of smoke across the top of the ceiling, even though there's a well-built and well-ventilated chimney, so kind of taking lots of smoke out. And it seems that there's some strange implements and tools off to one side, Clip, that you haven't seen before. Einar doesn't mean anything to you. It's just all kind of smith's tools. And they are standing over they've got a large metallic tube with some workings on the back end. And it's probably 4 foot long and a foot round across this cross section of this tube. There seems to be kind of smaller tubes, kind of metallic tubes going into it. To one side, there's a wooden stock with trigger mechanism. You can see the stock is being built with the trigger mechanism inside. And it's kind of all going on. And he said, and Ragnar kind of just stands there staring at you. And Alburn says, good. Hello. Sorry.
Afternoon.
Sorry, I've forgotten your name.
It's clearly been a long 12 days.
He looks side eyes at Ragnar and then back at you. How can I help you?
Well,
you've brought some stuff.
We come to drop off some ore that we got from a plundered Dwarven Smithy.
Okay. Well, okay. Excellent. Brilliant. He kind of gestures over to one side with this kind of barrels and buckets with stuff in. There's an empty one there.
Einar, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, I'll start dropping the ore in there.
Okay.
So, looks like you're working on a gun there, boy.
Yeah. He kind of looks at him and Ragnar kind of speaks up and he says, "It's none of your business, elf."
Well, I think it might be if you're making yourself a gun, because there ain't no one around here finer than I for making a gun.
When it's done, we'll let you have a look at it.
Well, I reckon you
There's
might.
magical components to this.
Oh, magic. Wow.
You should mind your manners.
Why?
Because small men have a habit of breaking if they do not.
He looks at Taris behind the door and he goes, I like the big one. He's funny. Look, what business do you have? Get about it quickly so we can carry on. We're halfway through, God damn it.
Just offering to help. Pride cometh before a fall and all that. You, sir, seem to have an awful lot of that.
It's a repeating spell slinger.
Nice.
Does that answer your questions?
So, would you be interested in a spell slinger bullets just to kind of give you something to work with?
Well, yes. He's slightly confused. It's like,
And they're not going to fit
nice
that
thing.
barrel. You're going to need yourself a whole massive shell, but maybe if you had a working one to work with, you could scale them up.
Man, if you happen to have one on you.
Might have me one. More. If you're going to be civil about it.
And what would you like in exchange?
Well,
Many.
many things. Mostly, I'd like to help you with your big gun.
Aren't you busy wandering around in the dirt looking for things in holes in the ground?
What, you mean like this?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, you belittle it and then you really want it. I'm getting confused here. I think we should just go get some mead. What do you think?
I was not
I like the
belittled.
sound of that.
Yep. Okay, we're just going to go to the bar now. Bye.
Very well.
But if you change your mind and you want to be civil like, you know where
To
we
be
are.
clear, I did not
Mhm.
belittle the item. I belittled you.
You're aware that that does not help.
It's an important difference.
You're aware that it does not help.
May I have a look at it?
No.
I don't think you should let him if he's
No,
going to take that.
Did you
tone.
only find one?
I may have found more.
Well, how about you let me have a look and I charge those others up for you?
Now that's rather more interesting. Deal.
He takes the spell slinger. How many other rounds did you have? You're on mute.
4 in total.
Okay. So he looks at it and he goes, you let me keep this one. I'll charge the others up for you whenever you're back at the tower.
Can you charge them up before we go?
I can charge them up right now for you if you wish.
Well, I'm going somewhere where there's a dragon, so I reckon I need everything on my side that I can get.
Yes, indeed. Oh, are you after that brine dragon?
If that's a bluey-greeny color, then yes.
They tend to be. And they do like lakes, especially salt lakes formed from elemental oceans.
Oh, like the one up the river from here?
Perhaps.
Well,
If you happen to see those 3 idiots I sent out the other day, could you please
no.
point them back in the way of the tower?
Okay, apparently they haven't been seen since they went out. We're not going that way. We're going to go see the giant dusty cataclysm that's much further outwards. You're probably not aware because you've been in here banging metal with your head.
Dusty cataclysm.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe you want to stick your head out the door for just a moment?
I'm not aware. What are you talking about? Hang on. He kind of goes to the front door and he sticks his head out. So I was just looking at spells while you do that. I was just checking what spells he might have.
I'd like admonishing Ray, but still Ray. Don't
Yes.
do that.
First level spells.
All right.
Okay. Hang on.
Thanks, Bailey.
What are you guys saying? What are you guys saying
you
in the
broke
chat?
Dad. Oh,
Oh
dear.
dear. Oh dear. Sorry, viewers. Our players are saying rude things in the Zoom chat to each other. Okay. So he runs to the door and he looks out and he's like, What's caused that?
Oh, we don't know. That's why we're going to go find out.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. If you do happen to see them on the way, though, do point them back in the direction of the tower.
Okay.
They've been gone a little bit long. I'm a little bit worried, but not enough to stop what I'm doing. So,
anything else we should know about a brine dragon? Any weaknesses?
They breathe steam.
Okay.
Do not stand in front of it when it does so. They are not evil creatures.
Okay.
And they have a tendency to want to foster fishing villages.
Oh. Okay.
They are strange
sound
creatures,
bad?
and therefore I have little interest in them because they are the weirder of dragons. Shame it's not a silver dragon.
Okay, so if we find a silver dragon, we should give them your name.
It's been a long time since I've been to Kesben.
Always a shame if it's not a silver dragon.
So these brine dragons are willing to make friends with fishing villages.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
They tend to see a body of water or a stretch of coast as their domain or an area that they wish to protect and foster and help. They see it as a kind of owner and pet relationship, I would say, rather than a friendly, equal relationship.
So a
But
lot
it's
like
not
you
bad.
and everybody else.
Kind of nods.
Yep, you see yourself in that one. Okay, good. Ooh, we broke down. We actually broke down.
Uh-oh. I thought he nodded off because his eyes were shut in the frozen image. I thought he was like,
oh, dear.
very well. Right. Well, if you're going to investigate that, then that will be interesting.
Mm.
Clearly, some great event has happened in the ground there.
Yes.
Later on, I may even be able to do some scrying for you. However, let me see. Where are those other bullets that you had?
There you go. Any reconnaissance you could do for us would be gratefully accepted, sir.
Would it?
I don't like going in blind.
Right. Well, here. Let me see. He takes them and he puts one in his hand and he utters some words, and in the air above, faint runes, blue electrical crackling runes appear, and the bullet goes with a little bit of electricity, and he hands it back to you and he says, "Don't drop it in water." He takes another one.
I lick it.
He takes another one and he casts another spell. And flaming runes appear and absorb
I think
into
I know
it.
this one.
A little flaming thing appears around it. And then the next one, as he casts this spell, a kind of strange howling whistle blows through the smithy. For a moment, it's not hot. You're suddenly chilled, and these dark runes kind of sap into the bullet. So he's imbued your 3 bullets, one with shocking grasp, one with burning hands, and one with fear.
Ooh.
First level spells, so nothing crazy. First level arcane spells, so you should be able to locate those.
Yep.
Now, there you go. And some minor enchantments for the day. Oh, he kind of stretches his limbs, wakes one up, doing a few lower circle enchantments.
Yeah, it's good to warm yourself up that way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Very well. Well, you have provided some entertainment and distraction today, so thank you very much.
I'm so pleased. Alburn, are you getting enough to eat?
He kind of he nods. Taris has keeping us well provisioned.
All right, then.
You may be interested to know you are likely to get a much bigger forge.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well, what do you mean?
On our travels, we found that the watchtower that we thought was a watchtower was in fact a Dwarven Forge.
Ragnar looks at you like, a Dwarven Forge, says Alburn. Wow. I mean, this is a Dwarven Forge, but I assume you mean an ancient Dwarven Forge.
Yes, an ancient one. It was guarded by a mechanical man.
Ragnar's face palms. Why did you not lead with this?
Because you were being
I was not talking to you. I was talking to the smith.
So this is what you get for a lack of people skills.
He turns around and stops talking to you. Alburn has a little smile on his face. Like,
the smith is going to be disassembled and brought down to the village.
oh, excellent. Well, I mean, this has always been kind of like a repair shop rather than a proper smithing for kitting everything out. I think that sounds great. When have you got who's overseeing? You're saying it's being taken apart.
It is being disassembled by the creature that is known. It is the mechanical man that we have found.
It's alive.
Oh, yeah, it's a Dwarven mechanic person.
I'm not sure alive is the correct term, but I'm sure Clip can explain greater than
Functional.
Yeah, it's a philosophical distinction. It appears to be sentient and self-aware, so make of that what you will, but probably not stew.
Wow. Oh.
How's your
This is
Dwarven?
amazing. He switches to Dwarven. I'm a smith in Pargranin. How do you think my Dwarven is?
I was just checking. Well, these Pargranin folk don't seem to know what plane they're on, so, I just thought I would make sure.
Yeah.
I think known responds best, I would say Dwarven.
We will be leaving soon with a crew to turn it into a watchtower, disassemble the forge, as well as with a crew of guards.
So you're taking some workers with you?
Yeah.
We are.
Okay, there's a lad. Well, I can't. He looks over his shoulder. I unfortunately I want to stay here.
You're engaged in a work of a mighty purpose. I see that.
But there is a lad called Garrett who seems the most capable with tools, and he spent a couple of days in here helping repair some spears and things. He'd probably be the best worker to take with you. The closest thing to another smith we have in the tower right now.
Okay, we will make sure that he comes with us. The way in between here and there is now safe. We have made friends with the local giant.
Ragnar face palms at the other end of the room again.
And I pointedly just don't even look at him.
He's like grips the anvil. He's like, oh! You hear a faint kind of noise. And Alburn is trying not to laugh out loud. He's like, a giant? You met a giant?
Yeah, wood giant. Yeah, she was rat friendly.
We have negotiated terms with this giant. It is why we are moving the forge.
Okay, right.
Plus, we believe that the coastal location would be better suited. We can bring in materials directly to the forge.
I see why they sent you guys now. I mean, you've been here 3 weeks and you've found a mechanoid, a dragon, all of this stuff. I mean, this looks like you've got rune stones and all kinds of things.
Well, sometime when you get some time, we will have to share a mug of mead, and we will tell you all about it.
That is very true, but I don't think that's going to happen for a few days.
Give it time, we will have many stories to tell.
I'm sure.
Well, we shall leave you to your work, and I'll kind of slap him on the back in a friendly fashion. Gently, he knows his strength.
He's a blacksmith. Come on.
Yeah, but he's a Jotun.
No, I'm not like wacky.
Yeah, no, I know. The heat is filled. Ragnar just like.
Him, I would go.
I'd be careful. So you leave.
Yep.
And as you guys leave, you can see Crow
Staring at a horse.
Staring at a horse.
Yeah.
And behind Crow, you see LaRue and Rasilka come down out of the tower. Crow looks like he's about to headbutt this horse or kiss it. You're not sure. Somewhere, or eat it.
Can we get those to a stable?
Is our little lizard friend broken?
Not yet. If you
Kind
can
of
ask
stroll
nicely
over
from
to
that horse,
towards
he
him.
will be.
I've
LaRue
seen
and
this animal
Rasilka.
before.
Mm-hmm.
It is
You
called
guys-
a horse.
You guys can tell Clip and Einar have the face of someone who's just dealt with Ragnar.
Einar's probably looking quite pleased with himself. He just managed to royally piss him off.
And you all see Rasilka and LaRue and Crow. You see Taris standing outside the smith, and there's a sign that you can't quite read from here on the front of the door. They're all
Assuming
standing in the courtyard.
I'm going to start tapping Clip on the shoulder.
We have found some interesting
tapping.
information about the dragon. Apparently, the type it is likes to make friends or pets, as the wizard called it, with fishing villages. So if we can establish a community by the lake, we could have a dragon help defend the area.
Wise.
At the cost of the independence of that village, they would become subjugated to the dragon.
Yeah. Do we want a dragon around?
Yes.
I do not know if we have the means to deal with a dragon in a hostile fashion.
Actually, hang on a moment. Crow, Kial, your people, they like the wetness, yes?
Yes.
The eggs they clutch in the little floating nests to keep them
Yes.
safe. Yes. And
Oh,
your
no.
people- No? That's not your lot.
No, my tribe, the eggs are kept in the hatchery tent.
Oh, you have a tent. Oh, that's nice. I knew this tribe where the male had to collect a pebble every time they wanted to get a new egg. And they made these great big mounds. Anyway, we digress. Maybe your people are fond of a dragon. Yes?
Yes, I would like to meet dragon.
And they need a
Perhaps
new
they
home.
would like
so
to establish
maybe
the
they
fishing
would be the
village.
ones up by the lake. But this is all by the by. We have the cataclysm to investigate. Anyway, why are you tapping me?
This way.
Okay. Sorry, the lizard wants something. I don't know. I'm not touching your tail.
What?
Just to be clear, okay? Just
No.
be- okay.
Just in case you hadn't realized, he is not a horse.
What? No. This horse is a walking creature.
Cultural misunderstandings.
So I'm going to take Clip off around the side of the stables, and I'm going to look really quite concerned. You probably can't tell because I'm a lizard, so my face is difficult to read. It's like, I have a concern.
Okay.
It is Rasilka and LaRue.
Yeah.
They are egg bearers.
You and I are going to need to have a talk about how everyone has something to bring to the party, and
Yes,
we
they are.
you cannot use that language.
They are egg
Crow.
bearers and should be respected. Why are they not leading?
Oh, well, they are respected. Did you not tell?
But why are they not leading? You are making jokes, and do not bow.
Oh, they don't like that. Well, actually, I think LaRue probably would like that if we all did that. Maybe we should do that. Okay, let's do that.
Yes.
Yes, we should go bow. We should bow real deep, like. Okay,
Yes.
let's practice. We should practice right now. Okay, you gonna
I know
practice?
how to bow.
Okay, I want to see your bow. Come on, let me see your bow.
It's a weird lizardy hunch crouch.
That's
It's a Skeksis bow.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think that's going to translate. Here, try one of these, and I will do an elven courtly bow. Okay, try that.
Yep, same again.
Okay, well, let's just see how it goes. Okay.
Do I have to do this with the arm?
Yeah, that's very important.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's go back and let's go try this out. Okay. But generally, we just accept people on their merits, and we don't mention the eggs or any of that. Okay.
Not mention the eggs.
Not meant. No, it's just not.
How can you tell?
How can I tell what?
How can you tell if they are egg bearer?
Well, frankly, you make it so that that's not the most important thing about them.
But they do not have frills.
No, you're right. They don't.
And their face coloration
The
is
stable
the
hand
same.
comes round the corner of the horse and is like, "What are you two doing around here?"
7-foot-tall lizard screams at him.
It's like,
Not now, boy. Not now.
can you do this somewhere else?
What?
Most
Scaring the
confused.
horses?
The horses don't like it.
Oh yeah, I hate to break it to you, Crow, but some of those horses are probably egg bearers too.
No, how can you
Yeah.
tell?
Oh, it's real easy, like.
The stable hand goes and lifts the horse's tail up.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's how you tell. Don't do that without permission.
But
It's
I
a
cannot
horse.
do that to LaRue.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. No. No, not to anyone. Okay.
I'm hoping I'm not going to have to step in as games master at
I think
some
we're just gonna
point.
have to cut this whole section out, frankly.
Did someone deploy the X card? Okay. So, Clip and Crow have a little conversation round the corner.
Oh God.
Dan's internet's going to break again. Rasilka.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, it does work. Aye.
Silka, Einar, and LaRue, you guys are. You can hear them like arguing, and then stable hand's gone over there, and the horse and stuff, and the three of you are standing there.
I assume we also hear that.
yeah. That comes in a little bit, but yes, you're all kind of standing there, and
LaRue leans into Rasilka and goes, "Do you think the lizard has taken a shine in the clip?"
I'll be honest, LaRue, I really don't understand him. He's a bit of an odd one.
It's just I know what lower society sometimes run around the stables for. So I'm just,
I wasn't sure if he was trying to get over familiar with the horse.
I don't know. But, and I'm going to tell Talis. Talis, isn't it?
Taris.
Taris. I'm going to tell Taris about our plan to make a sauna in the smithy.
You kind of,
Yeah,
are you wave her over, or are you going to go and talk to her?
No, I'll just be like,
okay.
"Hey,
She
come
kind of like sneaks out, like she's in the middle of the courtyard, but she looks like she's trying to sneak across to you.
Come here.
Yeah, Rasilka, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Are you all right?
I heard you guys had some crazy adventures with mechanoids and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, look, we're gonna drink some mead later. Gonna tell everybody about it. So, like, you'll have to come with us. But
What?
Me and LaRue, we've got a plan. We're gonna take over yon smithy, and have like a steam night,
Sauna night, yeah.
sauna night.
What's that?
Well, yeah,
Oh, the steam rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but-
That's a great idea.
isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
It'd be us three and Krilge as well. We'll just
Yeah,
have
Krilge as well.
Oh, cool.
maybe we'll dip into Mr. Ragnar's stash of expensive wine and have a. Don't worry. Don't worry.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
He really likes his wine.
You'll never
And he
know.
brought certain bottles with him.
It'll be good. But and as we're doing this, like I'm trying to usher her over to the mead hall and just like
Okay. You can feel her like unconsciously resisting you.
Just
She's
be
like,
like-
where are you heading off to next?
come on, let's go and like I'll tell you about Dragon and the Mechanical Man. Come on.
Oh, she comes with you.
Yeah, just sort of drag the like dereliction of that.
So I'm going to assume we have a period of time of people drinking and eating and kind of recuperating from your long journeys and talking to some of the people in the mead hall in the barracks for a bit. So you kind of have a meal and recuperate and rest. We'll say you don't need it, but you have a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all spells and hit points and everything's recovered.
Yes, Clip's told me I have to bow next time I see them now.
Yeah.
So the next time I see Rasilka and LaRue, it's going to be like this combination dab bow thing. Because he told me I had to do the arms as well.
Yeah.
For
I
no
also
clear reason.
Will participate in the bowing
Oh, good.
for solidarity.
I'll look at the mead, look at LaRue and Krilge and everybody and just be like, we need more.
Yeah, we can't. There is more, says Krilge, but we can't drink all of the mead.
Well, we've got to drink it until that made sense.
That is mead.
Oh, it's like honey
Yeah.
water.
You know what? I think you're right.
And,
I think you're
and
right.
I
mean,
believe
it's-
that the respected ones would like some more, Crow.
We'll fight
Yes.
the bees.
LaRue actively raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, I was
Say
gonna
respected ones.
You'll get a funny look from Einar at that.
Go over to the bar,
Acquire mead.
acquire mead, return with
Make your
mead,
mead.
probably
Okay.
intimidate barman.
Okay.
I don't know anything about paying for things, so bad news, Clip.
He- I think he's assuming it all comes off of your cut. Because you get a cut that he's the quartermaster, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, nobody's told me I get a cut yet, so
No one has told you yet, but he's just like, oh, you
Fine.
guys are all together. So
Yeah, we'll just put it on Crow's tab.
Fair.
yeah, put it on Crow's tab. Who's Crow?
As the very
There's
large
no
lizard with
documents
the
for anybody
crocodile
called.
hat.
Yeah, he's the short lizard one.
Ah,
Crocodile hat, goggles, very hard to miss.
the one who's doing this gargling singing at the minute with some mead.
some of the lads to one side are having a game of cards.
Yeah.
Some of the younger dwarves whose beards aren't quite as fully festooned as types such as Doric Emberblade. You know, they've got nice square. They like to prune their beards into geometric shapes. At this age, it's a fad that they go through.
Unk.
Dodecahedron.
Yeah, there's a guy with a dodeca beard. He's got the best beard.
Absolutely, it's the best beard. No other beards to compare.
There's one dude with a square beard. It's like perfectly trimmed. It's beautiful. It's like topiary, but on the face. And they're playing cards. And there's a bit of money exchanging hands. So there's a bit of that going on. People coming in and out. There's kind of shift change. You notice there's less people in here now because Sir Althus Credwin has doubled the guard, keeping the people on the walls, keep checking everything's okay. And Taris has to escape after about an hour because she's getting more and more stressed. And eventually, Rasilka, you're just like, I can't watch this. And you just kind of like, you know, let her let her go.
Like, all right, fine. We'll tell
Kind of
you.
insists, and then you're like, okay.
Tell you about the weird crystal that made the door see through another time. Then
She's just got to the door when you say that, and she turns around. She's like, "What?"
Later. Go back to.
And she leaves. Yeah. So you're all there. You're gathered. You've got all your gear. You've got all your stuff. What are you guys intending to do before? Are you going to wait the night and then head out in the morning?
I'll probably go and make sure that the person that Smith mentioned is on the work crew.
Okay.
As that seems to be the one that he trusts
You-
most.
You go to the quartermaster. Knows everyone in the tower. So you go to the quartermaster and you ask him about Garrett, and he points at the chap with the square beard sitting at the table playing cards. He goes, I think that's Garrett over there.
And who is in charge of assigning work crews?
Oh, that'll be Sir Althus.
Okay, I will go and see him.
Very well. And you head out into the courtyard, and you can see Sir Althus is moving around, kind of over there. Come on, move around, and
I'll just kind of
directing
stroll up
people.
to him.
I know. Good to see you again. How did the things go with His Honor?
Quite well, I believe. I have spoken to the smith. I thought it would be prudent, given we are moving a forge, and he has suggested that Garrett is on the work team. Can you make this so? Yes. Oh, he's the lad that helped out a couple of days in the forge. Yes, we can arrange that. And I'm assuming that the work team and units of soldiers will be ready by the morning.
Absolutely.
To get rangers rather than foot troops.
Yes, I believe it was mentioned that anyone with a more nature affinity would be a good choice.
Well, we're not exactly sport for choice, unfortunately, Einar, but most of the troops from Pargranin spend, a season in the forest. So they are fairly well trained in forest maneuvers.
I am aware that you only have limited resources, but if you could do...
If I had a troop of rangers at hand, they'd be off exploring this wilderness.
But yes, I mean, if you can arrange for the most suitable of the available candidates, that would be appreciated.
I think there are a couple of wood elves hanging around somewhere.
Probably a good selection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate your assistance on this matter.
Very well. There's something I wanted to give you. Stay here. And he walks off to what you realise is like a little structure to one side, and you realise this is like his little office,
like
almost
house
like
type.
his little
his
little hut to one side. So he can always be like present if need be, like in the middle of the courtyard. And he comes out and he's holding a wand. And he says, "Look, I know this isn't of much use to you personally, but we don't have many magical types around here. And Ragnar passed this into the stores as I can't remember what he said, a trinket beneath his concern or something to that effect, and handed it off to us. None of us can use it, so I felt it would probably be best if we just gave this over to you guys and your."
So it is a magic stick?
Yes, I've been told it shoots blasts of magic.
That sounds very cool. I will hand it to LaRue. I'm sure she will know what to do with it.
I knew you'd. I figured one of you would be well suited to have a look at that. But that's just. He's kind of holds it in his hand. In my hand, this is a stick. And he passes it over.
I'll kind of take it. Yeah, it looks like a stick to me too.
When he hands it to you, when he hands it to you, you can see that this looks like, from afar, it looks like a twining kind of two sticks twined around each other. When you take it, you can see it's actually a very finely crafted. You're not sure whether it's brass or copper or silver. There seems to be a hint of all three metallic colors in it, but dull, not shiny, but very finely crafted. And they come to a point where they meet, the two kind of sticks. It looks like branch, little twigs, but you can tell that it's metal and it's crafted, and there are very, very fine runes engraved on it.
Oh, this is quite a fine piece of work. I'm sure LaRue will like it.
Yeah, beyond me. But look, I understand you're heading out towards the dust cloud.
We are.
Just be careful.
I will do my best to watch over the others.
Good, because things are escalating. I don't know whether it's our presence or the Braktagar people causing trouble, and we just happen to be witnessing it, but it seems that things are heating up.
I think it may be a combination of all of them.
Look, I think we'll be fine here. We've got, 4 troops of men now. We've got the wizard, Doric, myself, Hjalar. I think we can hold this tower.
Have any soldiers been sent to the village?
We sent workers and soldiers.
Excellent.
We've requested more support. We've filed what information we had. We didn't have all the information about the smithy. Sent that back along the old road with the messengers. Now we're going to send back, and you can see there's a human lad on a horse by the gate with satchel and kind of papers and stuff. We've written down all the latest information you've given us, and we're sending it back to Pagranin. This should bring more support. The next time you go out into the field, I intend that you have support with you.
That is very thoughtful. I appreciate it. We did some work on the smithy, so it has been made safe.
Excellent. You've been a fine addition to this encampment. Thank you, Einar.
You're quite welcome. Well, I won't take any more of your time. I appreciate you are a very busy man.
Yes, I am. And he turns around and walks away.
Yeah. Kind of walk back holding what almost looks like a toothpick in my hand.
Yeah. It does look ridiculously small in you've got like big mutton hands, and you're kind of holding this thing that's just like peeking out of your hand when you go back into the meat hall.
Stroll back in, kind of. I'm assuming LaRue's still in there. Okay, yeah. I'll just stroll over to LaRue. Hello, little one. I have, I believe, a present for you.
By the way, everyone is called Little One.
They are little.
I mean, LaRue actually in human, mostly human form, is quite
gone
short.
Down. I can't hear anything.
Oh, really?
I can.
Oh, it's
I can.
Yeah.
Oh, try again.
Me?
Oh, now I can. I don't know what happened there.
Okay. I mean, in her partially human form, or mostly human form, she is actually quite short. So, you can call her a little one. But she also appears mildly drunk. Because she's been trying to keep up with Rasilka on the mead drinking. And that's just not something LaRue is good at.
Okay.
Perhaps this would be best given to you in the morning.
You want me to do a fortitude saving throw?
Fortitude saving throw, DC 15.
Can I?
For you, it's DC 12.
I don't know.
Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Hang
You've
on.
got lots of
More
hero
used to
points.
drinking.
You'll
You're
be fine.
tougher, but you're also more used to it.
Why didn't that roll?
Oh, I'm on the wrong. Decided. Can't roll that sheet. Let's try over here.
Everyone or just them?
Them, I think.
For some
Clip's
reason,
just
my
going to be
roll
elbowing
isn't-
Crow going, look, we should have brought them presents. The big ones brought
Just
presents.
Oh,
made it.
For some reason, my rolls are not working, which probably is something to do with my internet going down earlier, and I haven't actually reset. So just you guys carry on talking. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah,
Just
no worries.
Reloading.
I'm
Foundry.
gonna assume that LaRue is drunk.
Yeah, if I notice that, I'll be like, I'll give it to you in the morning.
Yeah, she's
Thinking the better of handing something that's supposed to blast magic out to a drunk person.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, she appears drunk. Even if she'd passed the fortitude test, I would still say she was drunk.
Shower does, but LaRue is so drunk she can't make a roll.
That's exactly what happened.
There we go. LaRue is stinking drunk. So, is there anything anyone wants to do in the evening before your rest?
No.
No, someone's just going to have to help LaRue back to her room.
Okay.
Einar will pick her up and carry her back.
Oh.
Okay,
Aw.
cool.
Clip would like to check on the boy, Josen.
Josen.
That
Yeah.
one.
Okay, cool. You find him on the wall with bow in hand, not drawn, but in hand. Oh, LaRue, you're not stinking drunk. There you go.
Yeah. Tipsy
Just-
though.
Just tipsy.
Giggling a lot.
Yeah.
A
Braiding
good
everybody's
diplomat
hair.
can hold their drink.
That's true.
Or
It's
at
an
least,
important skill.
at least
A
look like
peer.
she's holding
Yeah,
it.
it's a whole other-
Yeah, and he's on watch. He kind of sees you coming, and he's like, "Hello again."
Evening, boy.
Word's going round. You guys have had an amazing adventure.
Yeah, well, that's
Were
what
you
we're here
scared?
for.
Those Bractigar forces? Were you scared?
No, we had a plan. We actually
Well, the range you were at.
stuck to the plan. I was 150 feet back. Was a little bit closer to the alchemist, though. We exchanged some fire.
Alchemist.
Yep.
Well, these Bractigar forces are dangerous. I think we're
Yeah.
ready. We've got a plan though here, haven't we? We're okay here.
Oh, yeah. This place is secure. I hear tell that you done good.
Yeah, it looked like I don't know, like birds flocking or something, but it lingered and moved with the wind, and then we could tell that it was smoke. There was some sort of burning going on. I don't know what of, but any points, near Onward.
Yeah. Well,
If
Don't
they've
you
sailed
get-
across the sea to land here and attack us from this side, why would they attack Pargranin? They must be here for whatever is. And he kind of points out into the wilds. Why are they here, Clip? What's going on?
I do not know, son. They are investing this area with a number of troops. They'd taken possession of that village and they were investigating. They'd take possession of that smithy that we were just at. And they're firing it up. I think they plan to be here for a while. What we basically have here is two frontiers meeting. And one of them's got to come out on top.
That's us, right?
Well, if it ain't going to be pretty.
Like
crabs.
No, it will be us, Clip. It will be us. We'll win out. We've got right on our side. These Bractigar fiends, they're tyrants and murderers.
Yeah, son. Sorry to break this one to you, but right doesn't necessarily win the battle.
He looks up at the World Mountain, and he says, Ondrum doesn't care that we think that we're right.
Well, you might think you're right. Whether Ondrin agrees, you need to go see a priest about that one.
They pray to Metalin. Everybody knows this. It's foul and disgusting.
Yep. But that means they got a god on their side as well. So it's down to us to make the difference.
Yeah. But you're your Jotun friend?
Yep.
I mean, I can tell there's something angelic about him. Who does he follow?
That's not the word that immediately springs to mind.
Well, he's like glowing and armored and like huge and impressive, you know.
Oh yeah, awe-inspiring. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Not got a lot of words, you know, to describe such things. So he just kind of grasps onto that one.
Big. Yep. Yep, that's basically it. Yeah, there's some sort of God connection there. I myself, I think it's more important you feel the mulch between your toes and the life force flowing through your veins.
Sure. Well, I wouldn't mind having a god on our side.
Well,
I like to think that Ondrim is watching over us always.
Yeah, I like to think that too. You know what I also like to think? I also like to think that there's a massive mechanical man out there that we can reconstruct and then use that to crush our enemies. That's what I like to think.
Oh.
He's like stands agape, staring at you.
I'm just staring out of the
What?
distance at this point.
Oh, sweet dreams
What?
are made of these.
What?
What?
I'm going to say an extra prayer to Cadrathis tonight.
Yeah,
I hope
good
she
plan.
will guide us and she will help us in our planning.
Yeah. I just want to say, good work on identifying the encampment, but don't get
Thank
any foolhardy hero ideas in that head of yours. Your job is to protect this camp, okay?
Foolhardy hero ideas are our province.
Absolutely.
Drawn,
Don't worry.
darn lootly.
Look, I know my job. I know I'm doing the right thing by staying here and protecting these people.
Yep. Don't worry, when the time comes, I'm taking you with me.
He looks at you with a kind of mixture of hope and fear.
So you better practice with that bow.
I have been. And he turns and he goes like, he fires off and he hits a tree out on the, and you think he was aiming for it. I mean, it looks like
You're in the forest.
Yeah, tree in a forest.
Well, it's not quite the forested area here, remember? So there's like a tree on its own, and he does shoot and hit the tree quite far away, and he's like, I've been practicing.
All right. Good. Keep it up.
Yeah. Okay. He says, oh, I better before, you know, but stay safe.
You too.
He kind of carries on his walk around the edge. And what do? You go back to your room after that?
Oh, he's just boot up on the fence and stare
Okay.
out into the distance. Tom.
Cool. Okay. Staring out into the distance. Okay. And the rest of you go to bed. Yeah.
I don't have a room, so I'm going to go and sleep on the roof of the stable.
Okay. That's fine.
Annoy that
Wandering
stable
horses.
hand again. Horses, eggs. all
The
kinds of
horses will
stuff.
be fine.
Horses are all spooked because there's a giant lizard man sleeping.
Yeah,
on
but
the
he's a
roof.
giant lizard man who's part druid and really good with nature.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like there should be a roll there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll go to bed
Yeah.
and you all sleep very well,
Eventually.
apart from LaRue.
Oh.
LaRue.
Yes. My ancestors picking on me again.
Which one is your skill one?
A skill one. Oh no, I've forgotten her name now. It's why have you asked me that now? I was not prepared for that question.
Sorry.
I know. I put it in the chat the other day.
while you're finding it, you are awake, but you're not, and you're walking, but you're not. You're still lying in your bed, and you're aware you've had this kind of experience before. You've had these kind of dreams, these almost lucid dreams, where you're walking and seeing something that your ancestors want to show you, and you're
I'm still looking for names.
You're walking along,
Gloria.
and
Oh, that's a good name.
you're walking along through a shattered.
It is
landscape.
Gloria. He's remembered.
Gloria.
Thank you, Clip. It is Gloria. Gloria Renard.
Okay, and
He
ahead
was
of
the
you,
black fox of the family.
ahead of you, you see a black figure, a black fox, standing proudly atop a chunk of earth that looks like recently it would have been aligned differently in the ground. There's a huge chunk of earth with grass on it on the vertical side, almost as if it's been torn out of the ground and landed in this strangely torn, hewn ravine.
Watch out for undead Sahuagin.
Wrong show, but yes. And as you're walking, you just keep walking, and your pace doesn't change. You don't feel that you're doing it. You are just walking, and you've had these kind of dreams before where you're just moving forwards and you're seeing things, and your ancestors are trying to tell you something or share something. You're not sure what. And you walk further, and this fox jumps off this lump of earth, runs down through some cracks over a boulder, and you realize you're following Gloria, and you get to the edge of a large pit, a large ravine, a huge hole in the ground, and suddenly the hole is filled with an iridescent blue light, and a rune stone 400 feet across appears in front of you, and there is a loud resounding boom through your skull. This wakes you up, by the way, at the end, but you kind of there is some. Do you speak Dwarven? There is Dwarven runes carved into this giant rune.
I mean, she's gonna sit bolt upright and then lean over the edge and vomit because she was horribly drunk. Because she wasn't meant to sit up that quickly. She's gonna go back and she's dizzy. She's like, "What's a girl got to do to get a good night's sleep? Can you just bother me in the morning, please?" But she reaches for a notepad and she draws the runes down. She doesn't understand it. Yep. She realized she's been shown something. She feels like it's probably got something to do with where they're heading. But she draws it all down and notes all these notes down.
Okay, well, hang on for a moment. Let's have a heraldry law.
Heraldry law. Oh, this is the thing I can do.
Ooh.
Yes, I can.
Okay. You're pretty sure you got down what you saw, the image, and you were, this huge rune was kind of floating flat as if filling the hole in the earth. And the blue light had started to come up around it and then light the surface of it. And you saw runes carved into the surface of this huge rune stone. And you write those down.
DHD right there.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Obviously, LaRue's probably not going to think it now, but she probably will in the morning. Does it fit the description of Cleoge's description of a gate to Zadumir, what she was saying earlier?
No, she said this would take hundreds of stones, and this looks like it's like a 2001 Space Odyssey moment. Yeah, you're kind of standing on the edge of this ravine, and suddenly boom, this thing appears. There's no runestone that size in reality. This is like a moment that your ancestor is putting in your mind to make you think about something.
Okay.
You're not sure.
Well, I've drawn it down. I'm going to show it to Clip because I know he speaks Dwarven and Rasilka, so I'll show it to them because they might know what it means.
Well, you sit up in bed and it's like, it's not quite day. It's very early in the morning. It's probably like 3 or 4. in, 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to wake him up now. She's going to try and go back to sleep. She's
Okay.
hungover.
Okay.
She's going to drink.
Cool.
She's going to drink some water and go back to sleep. But she's going to show them when everybody wakes up in the morning.
Okay, cool. So morning comes, and you'll come down to have breakfast in the mead hall. And strangely, LaRue is actually there first. It's playing on your mind. Although you go back to sleep, you wake up and you
That
come
awkward
down.
sleep, but you're not really asleep. You're just like drifting.
Yeah.
Did you
And-
clean up the vomit?
Absolutely, it's very much unbecoming. She wouldn't ever let anybody ever believe she's actually vomited. No one knows the truth. So as far as everyone is concerned, never happened. So, but yeah, she's sitting there and she's eating some breakfast. Though she does look a little fragile,
Good morning, my
and not
fox
fragile
friend.
not fragile in the sense of she's slender, but fragile in the.
You've got a
Funny
slightly funny color.
I'm always a funny colour.
You're usually a lovely white, luminous kind of color, but at the moment you're a little bit green. Bartender, can I get I don't know,
Bartender, he
some
says.
moss and eggs? Yep. It's a term of respect where I come from.
I'm the quartermaster.
Where's the rest of you?
Never heard that one before, and he walks off to go and get breakfast for people. What are you trying to do?
Sneak in from the wrong way.
Who are you trying to sneak up on?
Where
No,
have you been?
I'm not sneaking up on anyone. I'm trying.
You've not stayed in your own room.
Yeah. So she just comes from the wrong way.
Like,
I'm like, what? Morning. You're all up early. I didn't expect you all to be up this early. Is breakfast ready?
Well, it would be, but the half master just wandered off.
Right.
You can see LaRue like trying
It's
to
a
count
big
the
jug.
doors, trying to work out where you've just come from, knowing full well your room's on that side of the room.
Yeah. So she'll just style it out and be like, yeah, right. Well, I'm starving. We'll be
Who
over
doesn't
today.
know about breakfast, so is outside in the courtyard trying to start a fire.
The
Has
quartermaster comes back with a big tray of sausages, egg, and bread. The bread's a little stale, and a big jug of ale with a load of little cups that kind of hang over the edge of it as he kind of sticks it down on the table and goes, "There you go."
Thank you kindly, sir.
Where's Crow?
Watch a magic trick of turning ale into water.
If only it was just water.
That's what the wand does.
Give it one. Give it one.
Where? I'll go find
oh.
Crow. No,
Oh,
you
oh,
stay. You
Mr.
look
Haven,
like-
Mr. Haven, I have something to show you before you go wandering off. And LaRue just like puts the doodles down, which actually look very nice. They're very well drawn, but she puts them down and she's like, I think you might make more sense of that than I will.
Did
She
you
goes
have
back to
another
eating.
dream?
You could say that. That appeared and it was bright and it was blue and it hurt my head, though that might have not been that. And yes,
It
there's
was bright and it was blue. Was it anything like the rune stones we found?
well, I mean, they're runes and there was stones, but this was massive. This was like massive. It's like the hole in the ground. I don't know, but it's big and it was
Okay. All right, Rasoka, can you focus?
Yeah. No. Fine. I'm not. Why would I not focus?
No reason.
Are you going to
Right.
look at the
Yeah.
look
I'll
at the runes?
eating
Let's
a
look at this
sausage,
together.
dipping bread in egg, reading runes.
The runes say the edge of the realm.
That's it. The edge of the realm.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a sign.
The
Don't
edge,
go any further.
the edge of the realm. We can see the edge of.
Bridge out.
Now, the realm is
Uh-huh.
another term for Arlorn, the layer on which you live.
Well, like over the edge of the realm. Like we have to go.
Or it goes to the edge.
The runes are. Begin to question LaRue more about what she saw. Like, where were they all around the edge? Was it a big circle? What
Does
was?
everyone make a society roll?
I can try.
22.
No.
Oh my god. She's
Wow.
I'm gonna
You
use a
are
hero.
hungover.
Yeah, she's
I
gonna use a
would,
hero
yeah.
point for that.
You've all got a few hero points.
We've got
Oh, I
3.
should have
so-
used
yeah.
it on my
There we go.
stealth roll.
Too late. We all saw you come out.
Yeah. Walk of shame.
Stride of pride.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more like it.
Yeah,
There is-
yeah.
Got her head down on the ground, but she's also looking back towards that door. She's trying to see if anyone else comes out of any of the doors.
So let's have a look. Society. So Rasilka and LaRue,
Mhm.
you are both aware that the edge of the realm is a world encircling savage array of mountain crags and peaks that are extremely dangerous not only to get to, but to try and traverse. To go beyond is foolhardy. There is only one place at the edge of the realm that is safe for people to exist, and that is Kesben. And there's a city ruled by a silver dragon and a place of magical artifice and invention. And it is equally difficult to reach, mainly because the people who live there don't want people to come there. And there they look out into the ether beyond and ponder things and discover things and invent things. And it is said that the safest way to get to Kesben is through a runic gate.
Oh. Is this like the directions to get to Kisben then? Is that what it is? On the edge of the realm.
LaRue kind of shrugs. The messages from my ancestors are never clear, which is or adds to the headache.
Do we wanna go to Kisben? Is Kisben involved in stuff?
I don't know.
What about yon dragon and Kisben? Is that involved with the other dragon that we saw? Or do all dragons know each other?
I mean,
You don't know. They might
No.
do. They might have a dragon club. You know.
Dragon
Hi, Dave. Hi, Phil. How's it going?
Right.
Oh, not bad, you know.
weekly meetups. Yeah. What? LaRue, next time you talk to your ancestor, could you just ask them to speak plainly?
Silka, you have no idea how many times I've asked them to just be clear, but they like to talk in riddles. I think they like to torture me. I think that's
Oh.
part of the fun of being an ancestor, I think.
Oh, right, fine. Well, I'm not sure, but we'll keep our eye out. Why not? Hey.
Yeah, maybe there's a realm gatey Medingle where we're going, or in
Oh.
this area that takes us over to Kisben.
That would be because then maybe all the weird stuff that they do over there might have just exploded near us, and that doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. But hey, it's breakfast.
Yeah.
So whose room were you in last night? And then LaRue instantly goes in for the gossip.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hushed gossip on the side of the table.
Okay. So you guys gather your things together. You're gonna head off today.
Yeah.
Well,
Once
we'll
I've
gather the
established
work
that I can
party.
actually just get given free food inside this room,
Yeah.
and I don't actually have to set a fire and cook my own breakfast.
Yeah.
And this officious little prick who's telling me I can't have a fire in their courtyard gets out of my face, problem will be solved.
Crow, what you doing there? It's breakfast time.
I'll
Yes,
say that's not a nice way to describe Clip.
this small being will not let me start a fire.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
no,
sir, but you can't have you can't set up a campfire in the middle of the courtyard.
But I need to make breakfast for my friends.
No, we've got
No.
breakfast. We got breakfast in here.
You have breakfast already? Who made
Yep.
it?
The quartermaster made it. That's their job.
You have a person whose job is to make breakfast?
Yep.
Well, the cook makes all the meals.
Just going to look at this guy.
Son, if you could
Back
just
to
tidy up that delightful little Bernie mess, that would be mighty pleasant of you. Thank you.
You would not even let me light it.
Well, that's probably for the best. Crow, come on. We got
Adventurous.
sausage and eggs and moss and ale and all kinds of good stuff.
What is sausage?
Oh, let me not educate you on that one, but let's just go enjoy, okay?
Okay, so you guys have breakfast. Just weird packets of meat inside tubes.
Yeah, we also
Very-
have
they're very
black
strange, but very
pudding.
tasty.
I'm not going to explain that
Is
to you.
grubs? Is this a
And-
kind of grub?
Yes.
Is it good? I would
Yes.
not like to see the insect it hatches to.
Oh,
As you're saying all that, you could just see LaRue lagging, like leaning over to the side, trying to desperately hold everything
it
down.
pupates for quite some time.
It won't just be LaRue. Stop it.
Okay, so you gather all your gear, and there's a work team with Garrett. Is Garrett looking a bit red-faced, a bit embarrassed? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's looking red-faced and embarrassed from.
A swashbuckler
from the
never kisses and tells. It
That's
says it
right.
right there in the chat.
That's
Absolutely
true.
not.
We'll
Swashbuckler-
never know.
a swashbuckler always kisses and tells. So they kiss and sing, or
Yeah.
Dance
a
on a
table.
table.
yeah.
Reenact the whole thing.
Announce. So you gather your work team and your soldiers, and you head out from Emberwatch Tower via the smithy. So you're going to head to the smithy, which we can assume that you get to fairly safely. What we're going to need to do, and I think we'll do this in the Discord, is some roles for work teams at the village. We're still doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's still a work team there.
Yeah, still a work team there. So we'll do that in the Discord, because I think
And we
it's
left
11.
known
We did.
No,
doing
no,
work
no,
at the
Yep.
smithy.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll make some roles for those in the Discord. So that's cool. If you're not on our Discord, come and join our Discord.
Yeah.
It's lots of fun, lots of cool people talking about cool stuff and role playing.
Hang
cool.
on, what?
And what we will do is next week we will start with you guys moving on from the smithy. One thing I should point out is Forest takes 2 days to walk through, whereas Plains takes 1 day.
And there are planes to the.
Yes.
It's not northeast,
Okay.
like keep
Plain,
We need-
plain,
we need
plain.
that.
Could we have refilled our
Quadrant
supplies before we
compass.
left?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I know.
Could we have refilled our supplies before we left?
Oh yeah. You refilled your supplies, so you're gonna have.
I mean, we're going to need a lot for a trek.
You are.
Things.
You
It's a
are.
long way.
We
Yeah.
might even need a pony.
We'll figure that out on the Discord as well.
Bill.
Cool. Okay. Right. Well, I think we'll leave our session there with you guys heading out towards the dust cloud in the distance, and we'll see what happens next time. I think we're probably going to have a couple of encounters on the way as you go, which would be cool because I get to make up the plains terrain.
Well, I think looking at it as well, there's a slim chance that we might encounter Bractigar if they decide to go the same way that we do.
Oh shit.
Perhaps. Cool. Okay, right. Thank you very much, players. That was a cool session. Lots of good role playing going on. Lots of fun. Thank you to our viewers and everyone watching back on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, come and join us on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to join us in a few days on YouTube to like and comment about how awesome this video is. Cool. Right. What else do we have going on for the rest of the week? We don't have Lex Arcana tomorrow because it's the off week for them. But what's going on Thursday?
June finale. Everybody's going to have been all patched up and we'll be going to Carthag to stab up some dudes.
Simple.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
What could possibly go wrong?
Attempt to summon Shai Hulud to the center of the city.
The middle of Carthag?
Yep. That's
Wow.
Foom's plan.
Wow.
When in doubt, send one.
Sure. Sure.
It's going to be cool.
I
And
don't know
then-
if North America are doing anything on Thursday, are they?
I don't think they are this week.
I don't think they are either.
No. There is
No.
a rest for Matt and co.
Yes.
And then
Um,
Friday, we've got Monster of the Week / Glitter Hearts Mashup Special Edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be messy.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is,
just
isn't it?
sheer levels of ridiculousness that we've already got. Alden just cried looking at the rules.
I did. It made me feel very old.
Are there sex moves in this one?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
that's-
that's,
That's a
Monster
different
Hearts,
game. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, not Glitter Hearts. Right.
not Glitter Hearts.
Okay.
Pete.
Sorry. I was
But-
hoping.
It was me. I've lowered the tone all evening. I do apologise, folks.
Yes, but we can rely on it, so it's good. Yeah, consistent.
Yeah. So
And in fairness, you weren't alone. I may have contributed slightly.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Now, what is that? Ansem Verse and Glitter Hearts all in one go.
Yes,
Nice.
Absolutely. Is it still Anderson verse?
it is still Anderson verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It follows
Okay.
on from an important tradition that is found in a lot of Monster of the Week style source things like Supernatural and Buffy and things like that. But I can't tell you anything more because Alden's right there.
Okay.
Sounds like it's going to be a musical episode.
No, it's not a
Yes.
musical episode because I can't sing. It
That
is,
would be
however,
awesome
the
if it was
cartoon
musical.
episode.
I believe
Nice.
I've heard you sing in Russian, so I think you
Oh,
can.
But in
see.
Russian, it's a different accent, different
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Just do everything in Russian.
Yeah, just sing in Russian.
Nice.
Anyway,
Yeah.
wow, Aldun is going to love it.
All right. Genuine.
Yeah, no, it will be cool. It will be
Genuine.
cool. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Right. And
Be
then we'll
fun.
be back round for some more Pathfinder next week.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Okay. Right. Well, thanks, everybody. We've been Garblad Games.
Stay safe out there.
Happy gaming.
Bye.
Bye.